I'm starting your lecture 9 for a field effect transistor amplifier. Last time I just started frequency response of a cascade common source field effect transistor. In continuation of that, I'm starting from the beginning, so you'll get some continuity. So title of the topic is frequency response. Frequency response of cascade common source field effect transistor amplifier. I want to study about the frequency response of the cascade common source field effect transistor amplifier. See the first circuit diagram. From the circuit we'll discuss. Here I am giving the input signal Vs to the first stage of common source amplifier. This combination, it provides a self bias. Here it is your load resistor RL. Okay. This is your gate, this is your drain, this is a source. From this you are taking the output, and this output you are giving to the input of the second stage. This is your parallel combination of RS and CS. This is RL of a second stage, and here you are giving supply voltage plus VCC. Okay. From this you are taking the output of a second stage. This is a ground. Here I have to mention this junction capacitance. Reason is that I want to analyze this amplifier. At mid frequency, at high frequency and low frequency. So here I will show one junction capacitance. This is CDS1. Here I am showing stray capacitance due to parallel combination of this wire. See stray capacitance. See stray capacitance. This is your RG for a second source, second stage. Here this is your junction capacitance CGD2. Here I am showing input capacitance of a common source, and already you know that input capacitance Ci is nothing but the CGS plus 1 minus AV CGD. This we have written in a common source amplifier circuit. This here output of the first stage I am writing VO. Okay, this is your complete circuit diagram of a two-stage, or it is called cascade common source full effect transistor amplifier. Now I have to discuss the function of the component, then analysis. Then I will do analysis. The value of RL and RS are selected such that RL and RS such that they provide necessary bias. Necessary bias means the value of RL and RS are selected such that the Q point will come at the middle point of the load line. CS, the bypass capacitor CS, this capacitor CS provides CS prevents loss of amplification due to negative feedback. Okay, so this prevents the CS prevent loss of amplification due to negative feedback. I will explain in detail. Look here, if CS is not connected, then this voltage drop is developed here, and due to this voltage drop, your input voltage between these two decreases. As input voltage decreases, then output voltage is also decreases. So this is called loss of gain or loss of amplification. So this is, we do not want to develop this signal. So there is only one way. If you connect the bypass capacitor here, so this signal will be not developed across RS, it become bypass. So this is called bypass capacitor. So if this is not developed, there is no decrease, there is no change in input voltage, then there is no decrease in input voltage, and you will not get the loss in a gain. So in this way, this prevents loss of amplification due to negative feedback. Now we'll go for the analysis. For this circuit, we'll do the analysis in a 3-stage. First we'll find the gain of this circuit in a mid frequency, then we'll find the gain of this circuit at high frequency, then we'll find the gain of this circuit at low frequency. So first we are doing the gain at mid frequency. So gain of the circuit at mid frequency, we want to find this. Before this, let us draw its equivalent circuit. So I am showing you current source equivalent circuit. equivalent circuit for cascade common source amplifier. See, I am showing in this way. This is your input signal Vs. The FET work as a current source. It provides the current Gm into Vs. Current upon voltage. Voltage is cancelled, you get current. For current source, the resistor Rd must be in parallel, that I am showing you parallel. Then this is your load resistor, I am showing you RL. Then I am showing you here coupling capacitor CC. Then I am showing you here RG of a second stage. Then I am showing you here shunt capacitance C, and across this I am showing you voltage. You can check. Look here. See, this is Vs I have shown. This work as a current source. So this current provides what? I, or I can write Gm into Vs. So this provides Gm Vs. This is as a resistance Rd. So you can see here Rd I have shown. Then this is your RL, is parallel to this. Already we have discussed in a previous lectures. RL. These coupling capacitors, I am showing you here coupling capacitors. Then this Rg I am showing here, and across Rg I am showing you VO. That also I am showing here. Look here, Rg across this VO. Then this capacitance plus this capacitance plus this capacitance I am writing as a C. Look again. This capacitance Ci is the input capacitance for second stage, plus C straight plus CDS1. These all are in parallel, so I am doing the addition. CDS1 plus C straight plus Ci I am showing as a C, remember, and this is a output of first stage VO. So please remember, C is nothing but the Ci plus C straight plus CDS1. What is Ci? CGS2 plus 1 minus AV into CGD2. This is the equivalent circuit. This is the equivalent circuit for cascade common source. General equivalent circuit I am telling you. Now on this we will discuss the gain at mid frequency. Now I am discussing, I am deriving the equation of gain of the circuit at mid frequency. So look here, carefully try to understand. At mid frequency, these offer a very low reactance. You may have questions why. Because this value is low. Coupling capacitor, if you remember, we are connecting only to block the DC and allow AC. See here, these block the DC and allow AC signal to come here. And you have selected CC such that these offer very low reactance to the mid frequency. Which frequency? Mid. So what will happen? Whatever voltage is here, same voltage will come here because these offer a very low reactance To explain you, I can say suppose here voltage is 0.8 volt AC. This has a only 1 or 2 ohm resistance. Then you will get 0.795 volt. 0.79 means there is a no loss of voltage. If there is a no loss of voltage, so this does not have any effect on the circuit, or you can say this does not have any effect on the output. If this does not have any effect, then this can be neglected or this can be omitted in a equivalent circuit for a mid-frequency analysis. Listen again. In a mid-frequency analysis, coupling capacitors offer very low reactance at mid-frequency. So this voltage, this resistor is very low. So across this voltage drop is very low. So whatever voltage, same voltage you will get. So this does not have effect. So I am neglecting this. Now come to this point. Here then it will voltage signal will come in. This is of the order of PF junction capacitance. This value. So PF means 10 raised to minus 12 and reactance formula you know 1 upon omega c 1 upon 2 pi fc. So this offers very high resistance to the mid frequency. This offers very high resistance to the mid frequency. So signal cannot pass through this because this is high resistance to this signal. So this signal cannot pass here, but it will develop at the output. So this does not have any effect on VO at mid frequency. So this does not have any effect. So it can be neglected, it can be omitted. You can omit this. Again I am telling you. At the mid frequency, this shunt capacitance C offer very high reactance or resistance to the signal. So this signal cannot pass here. This over high resistance. So this does not have any effect, or there is no loss of the voltage. This does not have any effect on the output voltage. So this can be omitted. So whenever you want to do the mid frequency analysis, this series capacitance and shunt capacitance can be this series coupling capacitance and shunt capacitance can be neglected. So it can be neglected. So I can neglect and I will draw the equivalent circuit as shown in figure. The equivalent circuit for mid frequency is shown in figure. RD, RL. This is not, it behaves as a short circuit. So it behaves as a short circuit because no effect. This behaves as an open circuit. No signal will pass. This behaves as a short. This behaves as open circuit. So can you see all three are in parallel? So again I can draw the circuit. Again I can draw the circuit like this. Again I can draw the circuit in this way. This is I am writing R equivalent and is your voltage. Your R equivalent is RD parallel RL parallel RG, or I can write RD parallel RL because this is very large. So I can write like this. So I can write the equation of the output voltage, current multiplied by resistance. So VO upon Vs is called gain at mid frequency minus GM R equivalent. So AVMF, remember, minus GM R equivalent. What is R equivalent? RD parallel R. Or you can take this. This R equivalent is either this or this, anything you can take. So this negative sign indicate there is a 180 degree phase shift between input and output. There is a 180 degree phase shift between input and output. Now, let us do the analysis at high frequency. So I am doing analysis at high frequency. At high frequency, these offer a very low reactance. You may have questioned, sir, how? Look here. XCC is what? 1 upon 2 pi FCC. As frequency is high, as F is high, then reactance is low. So, at high frequency, these offer a low reactance, means no voltage drop across this, very less voltage drop across this. Whatever voltage here, same voltage you will get here at high frequency. At which frequency? High. Sir, why? See, reactance is given 1 upon 2 by FC. Frequency is high, so reactance is low. So these offer very low reactance. So this does not have any effect on the output at high frequency. So it can be omitted or neglected in this circuit when you draw the circuit for high frequency, when you draw the circuit, equivalent circuit for high frequency. Look here, this is of the order of PF. So at high frequency, these offer a very low reactance, these offer a very low resistance, and you know that signal always select low resistance path. So this signal will take this path, so output is reduced. So whatever signal is at high frequency, it is bypassed through this, and you will get output is reduced. It means these affect the output at high frequency. It means shunt capacitance affect the output at high frequency. In short, the high frequency response of the amplifier, high frequency response of the amplifier depends upon the shunt capacitance, or shunt capacitance restrict upper cutoff frequency of the amplifier, or shunt capacitance limit high frequency response of the amplifier. So whenever we are doing the analysis at high frequency, this is to be considered and this is to be neglected. So equivalent circuit for cascade and common source amplifier, you have to consider C, but this is not considered. So look here, I am showing you the equivalent circuit for high frequency. High frequency. This is your Vs. This is your current source, GM into Vs. This is your RD. This is your RL, RG. I am not connecting here CC. CC I am neglecting from this point. Then I will consider shunt capacitance C. This is my output voltage. This is your equivalent circuit. This is the equivalent circuit at high frequency. This is the equivalent circuit for mid frequency. Now let us do the derivation for this. Last slide, you drawn the circuit of equivalent circuit of cascade amplifier, common source amplifier at high frequency. So let us draw it again. This is input signals. This is your FAT behave as a current source, that is GM into Vs you written, and this all this parallel I am writing RD parallel RL parallel RG, I am writing R equivalent, and here is one capacitance C. Already you know that C is a C stray plus CDS1 plus CI, and CI is nothing but the CGS2 plus 1 minus AV into CGD2. This you know that, and here you are taking the output voltage VO. So VO is nothing but the, you can write VO is nothing but the current multiplied by the parallel combination of these two, this reactance into this upon Req plus reactance of this parallel combination of these two. So I can write R equivalent into XC upon R equivalent plus XC. So I can write VO by Vs is equal to minus GM R equivalent GM R equivalent into XC upon R equivalent plus XC. This is a voltage gain at high frequency, it is called minus GM R equivalent upon, if you divide by this, 1 plus R equivalent upon XC. R equivalent upon XC I have written. XC upon XC is what it is called plus. So I can write this is your minus GM R equivalent upon 1 plus R equivalent upon 1 by J2 pi FC. This is your reactance I have written. So I can write gain at high frequency minus GM R equivalent upon 1 plus J R equivalent upon 1 upon 2 pi FC. So this is nothing but I can write minus GM R equivalent upon 1 plus J R equivalent upon XC dash, where XC dash is equal to 1 upon 2 pi FC. So you can again write this is nothing but the AVHF is equal to AVMF minus GM R equivalent upon 1 plus J R equivalent upon XC dash. This is, look, the same step I have written. So if I take the magnitude of this AVHF magnitude, so this is your magnitude of mid frequency R equivalent upon XC dash whole square root. So AVHF It is the gain of mid frequency upon root of 1 plus R equivalent upon X dash whole square. You know, GMR equivalent is nothing but the gain at mid frequency. You know this. Now, if if f is equal to some frequency f2 is such that is such that the reactant Xc dash is equal to R equivalent, then gain at high frequency will be equal to 1 by root 2 times gain at mid frequency. Say f is such a frequency at which the reactance Xc dash is equal to R equivalent, then gain of the amplifier at high frequency will be nothing but the 1 by root 2 times gain of the amplifier at mid frequency. Then f2 is known as upper cutoff frequency. It is known as a upper cutoff frequency. Listen again. AVHF is equal to that. This is what you have written. Then this is I have taken the magnitude. So magnitude, you know this. Now this value is nothing but the AVMF. So this value, instead of this I have kept AVMF. Let me write magnitude. Now I am taking f is such a frequency. At this frequency, reactance Xc dash is equal to R equivalent. Then you can write AVHF is equal to 1 by root 2 times gain at the mid frequency. Then f2 known as a upper cutoff frequency. So you can find f2. Let us see how you can gain at high frequency is 1 by root 2 times gain at the mid frequency, when Xc dash is equal to R equivalent, that is 1 upon 2 pi f2c is equal to R equivalent. The frequency f2 at which gain at high frequency is 1 by root 2 times the gain at mid frequency, then frequency f2 is called upper cutoff frequency. Then f2 is called upper cutoff frequency, and it is given by equation f2 is equal to 1 upon 2 pi R equivalent C, where R equivalent is equal to RD parallel RL and C is equal to Ci plus C straight plus CGS1. What is Ci? CGS2 plus 1 minus AV CGD2. So this is a frequency at which gain of the amplifier will become 1 by root 2 times the gain of the amplifier at mid frequency. Then f2 is called upper cutoff frequency. What is called? f2 is called upper cutoff frequency. Look here, extra I am discussing. You are knowing the graph of gain versus frequency. Just to explain, I am showing you. This is the graph. suppose this gain is 10, and at this frequency gain is 1 by root 2 times gain at mid frequency. This is gain at mid frequency. So it is nothing but the 1 by root 2 into 10. So this value is nothing but the 7.07. So F2 is the frequency at which gain of the amplifier is 1 by root 2 times the gain of the amplifier at mid frequency. So this is called upper cutoff frequency. What it is called? Upper cutoff frequency. This is the discussion for gain at high frequency. Let us do the discussion for gain at low frequency. Now let us discuss the gain at low frequency for cascade common source amplifier. So first we'll draw the main equivalent circuit, current source. We have drawn this circuit. From this you will get the idea. This is GMVS. This is your drain resistance RD. Okay. This is your RL. This is the coupling capacitor CC. This is the RG, and this is your capacitance C. We have written resultant shunt capacitance. This is, we have seen in a first resultant equivalent circuit of a cascade common source. We want to discuss the gain at low frequency. See, at low frequency, the reactance of coupling capacitor is given by this equation. F is low, then its reactance is large. Reactance is a one kind of resistance. Resistance offered by the coupling capacitor is large. So voltage will be developed across C. As the voltage is developed across this, so this affect the output voltage at low frequency. So we cannot neglect coupling capacitor in equivalent circuit. We want to draw the equivalent circuit of cascade common source amplifier at low frequency. So this is the main first equivalent circuit. In a mid frequency we have neglected this two. At high frequency we have neglected this, we have not neglected this. At low frequency, according to this equation, you can say frequency F is low. If frequency F is low, then the reactance is large. So resistance is large. So voltage will be developed across this. Or if you want to understand, say here some voltage, just to explain you, 0.8 voltage is developed. So at low frequency, here 0.4 voltage is developed. So voltage across this is how much? 0.4. Means at low frequency the output voltage is reduced. So I cannot neglect this. I have to consider in a low frequency. It means at low frequency coupling capacitor affect the output. As a result, we have to consider coupling capacitor. Now look here, shunt capacitance. The reactance of shunt capacitance is given by this equation. C, already you know what is the C. C is nothing but the Ci plus C stray we have written plus CDS1, and Ci is nothing but the CGS2 plus 1 minus AV CGD2. At low frequency, this reactance is very high. This reactor is very high. So this shunt capacitor offers a very high reactance. So no signal will pass through this. This offers a very high resistance to the low frequency. That signal cannot pass here. So this does not affect the output voltage at low frequency. If this does not affect at low frequency on the output, so this can be neglected. This affect the output, so I have to consider. This does not affect because this reactor is very large and it is in shunt. Remember, this is in series. So this offers a high reactance and voltage is developed here, so output voltage is reduced. So I have to consider this. I have to consider this at low frequency. This offers high reactance, so no signal is passing through this. So no reduction of voltage due to this capacitance. So I can omit this. So this will be omitted. So as a result, the resultant equivalent circuit at low frequency can be drawn. This is I have to consider. So this is RD. This is your RL. I am considering coupling capacitance CC. This is your RG. I am not considering the shunt capacitance. So resultant is this too. So this is the gain. This is the equivalent circuit. This is nothing but the equivalent circuit at low frequency is shown like this. Okay. So I have neglected C, shunt capacitance. Now already we know that in last lecture I told you the shunt capacitance limit the high frequency response. Remember this word, this sentence. So resultant equivalent circuit at low frequency can be drawn as like this. So in the next slide I will show RD parallel RL is equal to RO dash. That I will show you in the next slide, and then very easily you can find the gain at low frequency. Okay. So let me say this is nothing but the R. Okay. Now I want to find the output voltage. So this circuit, just for your understanding, I am showing you. This is current I. This is a current I, means GMVS. It is bifurcated in two branch, R. This is your CC and RG. From this you are taking the output voltage. Let me say current is nothing but the what? I1. So it is I1 current I am showing you. From current distribution law, distribution law. I can write current I1 is nothing but the total current multiplied by opposite resistance upon total resistance upon total resistance. Look again, this is already you studied this current distribution law. If you have not studied, you can derive from this also. This current is equal to total current I, total current I, this your I, multiply by this opposite resistance, this is called opposite resistance, opposite of this resistance upon total resistance. So this is your distribution law, current distribution. As you study the voltage distribution law, this is same way you can say it is your distribution law. So I am writing here ROS because finally I will use. So here current I ROS upon ROS into plus RG plus XCC. What is the output voltage? Output voltage is current multiplied by resistance. What is current? This I1 I would put here. What is VO? I1 into RG. What is I1? This I1 I would put here. So I can write I into RO dash into RG upon RO dash plus RG plus XCC. But what is I? GMVS. So I can write VO is equal to GMVS RO dash RG upon RO dash plus RG plus XCC. VO upon VS is the gain of the amplifier at low frequency minus GM RO dash RG upon RO dash plus RG plus XCC. So gain of amplifier at low frequency minus GMR equivalent upon R equivalent plus XCC. R equivalent is nothing but the RO dash RG upon RO dash plus RG. So I can write minus GMR R equivalent upon here I am slightly making change in a step. I have done some step I have to write here like this. Slightly for more understanding I can add one more step. RO dash plus RG 1 plus XCC upon RO dash plus RG. So you get better understanding. Minus GMR equivalent upon 1 plus XCC by R. Here I want to use R, that's why I have changed it here, where R is equal to RO dash plus RG Now, here's XCC is equal to 1 upon J 2 pi FCC. So gain at low frequency minus GMR equivalent upon 1 by 1 upon J 2 pi FCC R. So I can write minus GMR equivalent upon 1 minus J 1 upon 2 by FCC into 1 by R. So I can write gain of the amplifier at low frequency minus GM R equivalent upon 1 minus J into XCC dash upon R, where XCC dash is equal to 1 upon 2 pi FCC. If I take the magnitude of this, then I can write in this way also. But you know this, gain at mid frequency is GMR equivalent. So I can write this is gain at mid frequency 1 plus XCC dash upon R. Now look again. If F is the frequency at which XCC dash is equal to R, then gain of the amplifier at low frequencies 1 by root 2 times gain of the amplifier at mid frequency. That is like this. Again I am showing the same graph. This is a gain. This is your gain axis. This is your frequency. Suppose this is a gain at mid frequency. This is a mid frequency, this is a mid frequency, you can say. The frequency at which, say this frequency, F1, at which gain at the low frequency is 1 by root 2 times gain of the mid frequency. Means at F1, suppose gain of the amplifier is 1 by root 2 times the gain of the amplified mid frequency, then F1 is called lower cutoff frequency. It is called lower cutoff frequency. So remember, when XCC dash is equal to R, then gain of the amplifier is 1 by root 2 times, is 1 by root 2 times gain of the amplifier at mid frequency. So F1 is called lower cutoff frequency. So equation of lower cutoff frequency is 1 upon 2 by RCC. So from this one conclusion, coupling capacitance affect the low frequency response and shunt capacitance affect the high frequency response. Here I am keeping, you know what is R. R तो already we have written, R तो पता है, we have written. So R is nothing but the RO dash plus RG. And what is RO dash? Already you know this RD parallel RL. Here I am giving your the end of the today lecture. Now something I am putting extra, the current distribution law, for your knowledge. If you want to do, you can do, otherwise you can ignore. For current distribution law I am discussing. Suppose this is your current, say I, this is your C, this is your RG, say this is some R or RO dash, then this can be drawn in this way also. RO dash parallel XC plus RG. Current is here I. Say this current is I1. So voltage drop across these two, voltage drop across AB, this is A and this is B. So VAB you can write current into RO dash parallel XC plus RG. So here voltage drop across VAB, I can also write I1 into RG plus XCC. Sorry. I can compare these two voltage. This is a voltage at these 2 points I have taken. This voltage is resultant of this. This is a resultant of this. So if you compare, resultant of this is this. That is the AB point. So what is the voltage drop AB point? This current multiplied by this resistance. What the voltage drop across this? This current multiplied by the resistance of this two are in series. That I have written. So by comparing these two equations, so I can write so this will be cancelled. So I can write current I1 is nothing but total current. So I can write from this current I1 is nothing but the total current into opposite resistance upon total resistance. See, this current is total current multiplied by opposite resistance. This current, total current multiplied by opposite resistance, you can see here, upon total resistance. So this is called current distribution law. This is not in your course, only for your knowledge. Okay, here is your end of the today lecture.